Hello and welcome once again to Ignite Your Impact. My name is Jen Rhodes. I am seated next to my husband, Matt.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon. And I realize I might have chips in my teeth.
And we are recording the afternoon today.
I know.
But it may be for the morning when you're listening. So whatever it is, good day to you. How's that?
Good day, sir. I like it. I want to jump in.
Yeah.
We're going to keep this one. It might be a lengthy podcast, but we want to dive right in.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We got a lot of bullet points. But I recently attended a great meeting, and it was based around leadership and management. But the pieces fit so well into fitness, relationships, mindset, just life. I wanted to expand on it today. So the training or the exercise, it was basically, we had an application guide. We were at a meeting. We had this application guide for a topic. It was like the Cliff Notes version of a topic that was on another podcast about leadership. And it was Andy Stanley, I think is the guy's name. I have not listened to the podcast yet, but I plan
Homework.
to. Yeah, I plan to listen to it. So we're just going to take some of the 4 points out of that document and expand on it in our own podcast on what we want to talk about. So the whole premise around it is the mindset that you are in. And he outlined 4 mindsets that we go through. Now, before I say what those 4 mindsets are, I need you to start thinking about your work. Meaning, if you own a business, start thinking about your business. If you've got a job, start thinking about your job. If you are a stay-at-home parent, think about the things that you do as a stay-at-home parent. So either way, I want you to think about that. So the first mindset is called the prisoner mindset. The prisoner mindset means we do things in our job because we have to. And are we in that prisoner mindset when we're at work? Then we can also be in the mercenary mindset, which is we do things because we want to. And the third one is the missionary mindset. We do things because we feel like we're called to do those things. And the fourth one is the athlete's mindset. The athlete's mindset is we do things because that's how we grow. We understand that everything is practice, and we show up and try and improve every day. Now, punchline is, you probably said, well, depending on the task and the day, I might fall into all 4 categories. Heck, I may fall into all 4 categories in one day, which is true.
Yeah. You can use these in all areas of your life, though. And that's the great part about this. And I hope you take a lot out of this podcast today. But let's start thinking about your fitness. The prisoner mindset, we do things because we have to. The mercenary mindset, we do things because we want to. Missionary mindset, we do things because we are called to. Athlete's mindset, we do things because that is how we grow. We understand everything is practice, and we show up to improve. And we take notes and apply the learnings. So, prisoner mindset. You work out because you have to.
Before you go any further, everyone listening, what is your mindset? I said, what's your mindset when you're working? What is your mindset about fitness? Which one are you in? It may change day to day, but which one do you usually see yourself in? All right, now go. I just want everyone to have that in their mind. While they're thinking about their fitness, what they are doing in fitness, what mindset are they generally in?
I'm in the superhero mindset.
That wasn't one of the 4, but I love it.
Okay.
All right, now jump in. Sorry. Prisoner mindset. Let's go.
Prisoner mindset. You do things because you have to. When you have to do anything, you go through the motions. You are trapped by this vice. You show up 3 times a week for an hour at the gym. You do all the sets, but you just aren't getting any real results. But you're doing it. You're not pushing hard enough in the gym. You're going through the motions. This is why you're not getting the results. You're doing the work, but certainly not what you're capable of. Side note, client that listens, yes, this is about you, and I'm so glad we're getting you the results you want now because you lift heavy. You aren't breaking down the muscles to build them up by lifting heavier weights to push you. You're just going through the motions, but you're doing it. So to move out of this level and to take it from something you have to do to a different mindset, you have to revisit your why. Why are you going to the gym 3 days a week? It's not because you have to. There are a lot of people that don't work out. You go because you're looking for a specific result. That result requires a certain set of skills and tactics. but you're not getting fit because of the mindset you're in. So now what if you're in that mercenary mindset? You work out because you want to. These are my overdoers, I think. Maybe missionary.
Missionary. Yeah, but go ahead.
Maybe. You work out because you want to. It's a great place to be until it's not. And what I mean by that is there are seasons of life. And there will be a season where things will get busy with kids and work and kids and work. And maybe you haven't even gotten to that all-important why. So you slip from wanting to do it to having to do it. Anyone listening, show of hands, worked out in the past because they wanted to and then AKA fell off the wagon because life got in the way? Yeah, it happens, which is why even though this mindset may seem like it works, it does not work long term. It does not work for the rest of your life. It might work for 6 weeks. But I want you to listen because this is important. The real underlying problem is you still want to, but you beat yourself up because you aren't doing it. And the trash talk in your head starts to get real heavy.
Yeah, that's why that one sounds like a great one, but it's not. Mm-hmm. One that sounds even better is the you just hit it, the missionary one, because you are called to do it. You're called to work out.
I get to work out because I get to.
And you're called to be in shape. This is who I am. But the problem is, and yeah, there is a problem with this one as well. I know it sounds like there isn't, but there is a problem with this one. It's called burnout.
Yeah.
Burnout, folks. You have no boundaries. You refuse to have a glass of wine. You refuse to have dessert. You refuse to let your guard down and have a good time. You overdo things to the point that somehow you slip back into the prisoner mindset because you get into burnout and you have to do it. I know. Everyone's always telling you.
Been there.
You should go about life with what you're called to do in business and in every area of your life. But think about that. Have you ever shut everything out of your life, intentionally or unintentionally, to turn around and say, shit, I got nothing left except for this one thing that you focused on? That's why the missionary mindset is not the right mindset to be in. I remember when I shut down everything to grow my career. I worked hard. I was making my way up, and life events with our daughter, her health, caused me to slow down, and I realized I was burning out in all areas of my life, not just work.
That's an interesting juxtaposition because I was exactly in this missionary mindset at that exact same time.
Yep. I was called to be this great employee. But that doesn't satisfy every area of your life. It leads to burnout. Thankfully, that's when we were introduced to our mindset coach, and I didn't slip back into that prisoner mindset, a burnt out prisoner, which is even worse. I went right into the fourth one, the athlete's mindset, and so did you. This is where you're looking forward to everything because you want to improve. You want to get better. You know you're capable more. You know there's more potential. You know there's a way better place to be. You practice, you make mistakes, and you're okay with that. You learn from them, then you grow into a new person. That's what you said earlier. It's okay to make mistakes. That's what the athlete's mindset is about. So in fitness, this is exactly the perfect mindset. This isn't actually the entire premise of the Phoenix method is built around the athlete's mindset.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's a very, very loose way of thinking about what we do in the Phoenix method and what a client goes through. Those that are on this side I'm about to describe, it's awesome, right? It's easier. They start with the mindset that I am at point A today. I know I need to take the first season of fitness and follow the plan where I am allowed to grow and allowed to make mistakes and learn from my coach. Then as I move into the second season of fitness, I'm still growing, but I'm building off of everything I learned in the first season. Maybe that's your first seasonal build. Yeah, and we're just kind of like learning and applying. Then when I get into the third season, it starts to become automatic. The way I train, the way I eat, it's like a totally different person. I am no longer that missionary person with my fitness. I physically cannot do it. And it makes me cringe to think that I used to be able to sustain it.
Yep.
I'm not that person anymore. It's like you're a totally different person in this third season. You're still learning, you're still growing, but you've really figured out when to have the foot on the gas and then when to let off a little.
I love that. I love knowing that. See, the athlete's mindset isn't about being an athlete. Even though we're talking about fitness, we're not talking about being an athlete. It's about thinking like an athlete. That's why it appears in every part of your life. It's about thinking like an athlete. Now, here's, if you read the title of the podcast, What Am I Capable Of? I think that's what it's going to be. This is where this comes in. In preparation for that meeting, the meeting that I started out with, this podcast that I was talking about, I was told to put together my 2026 goals. And I was told to come and be prepared to discuss the one thing on top of the goals, but the one thing that if nothing else happened, I would get this done in 2026. And it had to be something that took a complete shift, something that scares the shit out of me, something that stretches me. And at first I sat down and I wrote, I want to hit these really big numbers. I have like 3 or 4 categories. I want to hit these really big numbers. That makes sense to get them as a stretch. But then I started thinking about how does that tie into everything I've accomplished in the last 5 years? And I said, that equates to me getting on the phone with someone to talk to them about joining the Phoenix Method and them saying, I want to lose 20 pounds and feel completely confident showing up at the pool in 2026. And I love that. I mean, that's great. That's better than just saying, I want to get healthy. I want to lose 20 pounds. They have a reason behind it. They want to feel confident showing up at the pool in 2026. But to truly get in that athlete's mindset, you have to go beyond the numbers. And even beyond those small moments of the pool, of being proud at the pool, you have to think, what am I truly capable of? What can I really grow into? So then I completely changed my goals that I was going into that meeting. My goal is to change the system that I'm working within and how people are performing their work, a complete shift in the way they're doing it today. And that will eventually lead to those numbers, but in a much more efficient way. I don't know if you caught that. Changing the whole system to be much more efficient. That's key. So how does this tie into fitness? How does this actually tie into thinking about what are you truly, truly capable of? Because to make a massive transformation, a lasting transformation, you have to become someone new. You have to be someone new. I know my mentor, and Jen can probably quote this, says, Matt fucking killed off that old guy and built a new one.
Yeah. He says that every time we see him.
Yeah.
He's like, man, you really did kill that guy.
A new one who thinks differently, acts differently, talks differently, and performs differently.
Yeah. Yeah. When you get into that athlete's mindset by going back to your why and really solidifying the why, right? You start to look at fitness like this is practice. This is preparation. I'm going to make mistakes, but that's okay. I will learn from them. I will listen to my coach. Athletes, listen to your coach. But you then attack fitness differently. You no longer do it because you have to. You no longer do it because this season you want to. You no longer do it and burn out. You no longer talk all that trash in your head of why you didn't do it perfectly today. As you grow through each stage or season, you start to notice you are different in areas. Not all at once. Let me emphasize again, not all at once. A caterpillar doesn't just turn into a butterfly because it starts on a Monday, right? One of my favorite quotes is, there's not enough time devoted to the story of when the caterpillar turns into a pile of goo for an extended amount of time before it becomes a butterfly. Like, to the goo phase, right?
That's a great example. It's a true transformation.
Yeah.
A new person. But it doesn't happen overnight. And it doesn't happen when you decide to start on Monday. It takes a little time.
We should retitle the podcast to the goo phase. That'll.
We're not doing that.
No.
Not happening.
Could get some new listeners.
Yeah.
But I want you to think about this, right? This athlete's mindset. What are the tactics that go into the goal, right? It's not just get up and check the box. You get up early and you do victory hour with intention. These tactics are attacked with intention. You schedule your workout, and when you're in the gym, you push hard. You don't take your sweet ass time. You get in there, do your shit, work hard, get out. And it's locked in your schedule. You plan your meals and you follow the plan. Your environment starts to change and you value growth more. And all of a sudden we're in 2026 and you've already lost that 20 pounds. And you have those minor proud moments of like going to the pool. However, you are no longer the person you used to be. This mindset and goals you have achieved have transitioned to every area of your life. You're thriving in relationships. You're thriving at work. You are on a victory streak.
Yeah, I love all this, but you know, where do you start? How do you get into that athlete's mind? How do you start thinking about where you're capable of? I know right now everyone's thinking about the holidays coming up and how quickly the year's gone by. I know that everyone's thinking it. You're thinking it right now as you listen to it. Yeah.
Where the hell did November go?
We're in November.
I know. Where the hell did it go?
Yeah, it's already rolling. You're not only thinking about the holidays, you're also thinking about wanting to get in better shape. And now you're thinking about the athlete's mindset after listening to this. So let's do something different this year, or this month, or this week. Something different than you've done before. Let's not think about that 20 pounds in the pool, which is great. I love that. But let's start thinking about what you're truly capable of. Damn, that gets you going in your mind. When you sit back and just close your eyes and say, what am I truly capable of? What would you look like 12 months from now? What are you truly capable of?
I want to wrap. That's perfect. Just put a little bow on it.
Let everyone think about that for the next week.
Let that marinate.
Love it.
Jinx. All right, guys. We'll talk to you next time.